Hello, I'm Daniel Harrison, Group Chief Executive at True Potential, and this is my Day in the Life of Lockdown video. As the Group CEO, I'm responsible for pulling together all of the different business strands at True Potential. I make sure that we deliver our strategy, we hit targets, and that we look after our 300 members of staff and deliver an excellent service to the 4,500 financial advisors and their many clients who use True Potential every single day. As you can imagine, it can be a bit busy being in charge of all of these things, but it's also incredibly rewarding and it's also a lot of fun too. Hopefully you get a bit of flavour of that in this video. I hope that you enjoy. So it's about 6:30 and what I try to do on a work day or weekday is get half an hour or so training session in. Obviously I do it from my home gym and I've been quite lucky over the last few years to acquire quite a lot of kit. I'm a bit of a fitness bore to be fair, so weights, rowing machine, air bike, pull-up rig, bars, rubber matting and some kettlebells. Also got this handy whiteboard and gymnastic board to practice some different moves on. The workouts are powered by Dauntless Fitness. Dauntless also provide our at-home staff workout training, so that's powered by either Johnny or by Andy. Today I'm doing a bit of home training though. I'm going to do some squats and some rowing, so I'll let you know how that gets on soon. So that's the workout done. It took about 25 minutes or so. I'm just going a little stroll around outside now just to cool off. I've just looked through the window. It looks like the kids and my wife Gemma are up now as well, so next part of this morning will be breakfast. Just while I'm having a walk, one of the things I do miss about lockdown is actually going to the gym, going to Dauntless. It's good to be pushed by other people. It's good to be pushed by the coaches and by your friends there as well. But what's nice about having the whole setup like I've got at home, where I'm lucky, is that I've got all the kit. So that means I've literally got no excuses as well. And I find training first thing in the morning like that sets me up perfectly for the day. It gets rid of that bit of that energy, wakes me up. Gets me ready for my breakfast as well, which is always exciting. So I'll show you next with the breakfast. Okay, so back in from the gym and delighted to say that Hazel, say hello Hazel.
Hello.
And Chester, say hello.
Hello.
Are both awake, ready for breakfast time. So, and as is Gemma, but Gemma is the camera lady and hiding away there. So what's nice about working from home is that every morning now I get to have breakfast with these two and with Gemma and spend every morning with them, which is fun and a nice difference because typically I'm either at the gym, so it's normally a class at 6 a.m, which means I get the office about 7:30 and have breakfast there, or I tend to set off for work in any case at about 7:30, and obviously the kids are at school and nursery and chasing kittens, Hazel. Yeah. So we're going to have a breakfast and we'll start getting ready for the day. 3 good habits which I've got into, which I'd probably recommend to anybody in terms of feeling a bit fitter and fresher. First one is posture in terms of being at the desk. Got a small red TheraBand. Every hour I'm at my desk, I just do 25 pull-aparts like that. That stops you hunching over as much with your shoulders and pulls them back. And that was a tip from a physio friend of mine. Second one is I drink 3 of these a day. They have 1 litre bottles of water. I fill them up and I put them next to my desk and I go through them. Just getting that extra water in is great. And the final one is I use my Fitbit here to ensure I get at least 15,000 steps in a day. And again, that just gets me some fresh air, gets me some exercise, and also gives me a way in which to either clear my head or listen to a podcast. Okay, so this is where I work for a couple of hours of the day. As the video progresses today, you'll see what I mean by I only work here for a little bit. I tend to dot around as well. But this is my office. Again, similar to the gym really, I'm lucky that I've got a separate space where I can lock myself away, sit and work. So I think really from the computer and my diary, I keep a paper diary as well as an electronic diary. Just helps me to write down at the end of each day what I've got on for the next day in terms of preparation. It's also good to have a quiet space when I'm doing video calls or web calls as well. So really before my work begins today, my first meeting's at 9:30. I spend about the first hour or so catching up on emails, setting away things for the day, but also reading reports. We get a lot of MI in every day at the management team. So first hour of the day is really catching up on the MI, find out what happened yesterday in terms of operations, in terms of sales and business, and then really just setting everybody away for the day. In terms of the space itself as well, really lucky to have a great view out of the window, which I don't know if you can just show there. So a nice distraction. But the good news is, because I went a bit over the top and bought the world's biggest iMac, when I'm actually sat at my desk like this, I can't actually see out the window. I've got a peep like that. So not too bad. And if anybody sees the shirt back there as well and wonders what's going on there, you'll find out a little bit later on today why. That has been asked is, where do I do my podcasts? I don't normally do them at a desk like a normal person. That's because my internet is so awful. So if anybody's ever seen a podcast that I've done in the past, I've been sat in the garden. Why? I get a good mobile phone signal. So let me show you where my site 2 is, my other desk. There we are. And the reason why it's got an Amazon box there is because that props it up and keeps the camera at my eye level rather than looking like this, which is never a good angle for anybody. So the behind the scenes look there at my site too. My morning routine in terms of meetings starts at 9:30. 9:30 is a daily team leader call. So it's about 25 to 30 of the management team from True Potential on there, and during that it's a time for everybody really to talk about operations, about sales, and about what's going to lie ahead with the day. So it's a really good way just to touch base with the whole team. I use this as an opportunity as well really to go out for a walk, because that's about a half an hour call, and then I tend to have another 1 or 2 calls after that. So I've got about an hour and a half on the phone, and rather than just sit at my desk and do so, I go for a walk around. And live in the middle of Northumberland, so I've got miles upon miles of fields really to go out and get my daily exercise there. So pop the weighted vest on. Why do I do that? Just means I can eat more food when I get back from my walk as well. It's a bit harder. So go and check in with the team now and see how they're getting on. So back from my morning walk, back from the team leader call, which was really positive. Looking at green across a lot of the parts of the business which matter. And that really matches some of what we wanted to do when we went into lockdown, which was this idea of business as usual. So our clients and our advisors shouldn't notice any difference, be it all of our staff working from home or be them in the office, or as we've got at True Potential, a bit of a mix. So great to hear from the team there. And then I had a one-to-one with one of the management team straight after that. And it was good to speak with her and check in, basically, check that spirits are high, and also check that everything is on track in terms of what she's responsible for. And that involves a bit of my day-to-day work. I have both meetings and then also implementing strategy and also coming up with strategy with the senior team. Obviously, in this lockdown world, meetings have been replaced with calls and video meetings now. And they've actually worked really well. They've meant that the team and we've stayed in contact frequently. Would I prefer face-to-face meetings? I probably would. I think you can tell a lot when you're speaking with your colleagues and with your business partners in terms of body language, in terms of emotion. You get a more of a feeling. It's also easier to have a more natural conversation, I think, when you're together with one another. You're almost stage managing. Is it my turn yet to speak up? Or is it my turn yet to click onto the slides or what have you when you're on these web meetings? But I shan't complain. As I say, they've kept us in contact frequently. They've worked really well. And if anything, the frequency of the contact's really gone up right now. It's month end, which means everyone is working on targets. Everyone's looking for a bit of advice. Everyone's looking to pull in bits of favours around the business. So if anything, I've been on the phone a bit more often than I normally would this week. But anyway, on to the next meeting, which is a weekly meeting. We call it our Client Experience Unit meeting. It's all about looking at the end client, the end investor, and ensuring that our service really looks after them, ensuring that the technology is fit for purpose. It also gives us a chance to talk about what technology is coming next in terms of the web portals, in terms of the sites. We also look at data within there about when do clients log in, what do they like to see, what do they like to read, and that really helps us at True Potential and tailor our content and better design our websites for the benefit of all users. So I'll flick my screen around in a moment and I'll let the CAU team say hello, and you can have a little flavour of that meeting. So we're online and into the customer experience unit. So we're joined by Cameron, by David Reid, by Diane Patterson, by Luke Winthorpe, by Chris Day, by Luke McGrath, Ollie Dutton, and by me as well. So a real broad range of disciplines here at True Potential. We've got our development team, we've got some of our marketeers, and we've got some of our design team there as well. So going to run through quite a packed agenda now. I'll let you know how that is afterwards. Great meeting with the CEU team today. Really making some exciting changes to the client websites, which you'll all see soon. We're adding some different options for banking, for helping aggregate all of your details. Also some exciting additions in terms of rewards and helping you budget and helping you spend better, but also save better as well. So keep your eyes peeled for that in the coming months. It's going to be pretty exciting. Now on to this daily senior partner call. So this works in addition to the daily team leader call. So daily team leader call tends to be more sales and operational. And then the daily senior partner call is me, Earl Glasgow, Mark Henderson, Neil Johnson and David Harrison. And it was us five who founded True Potential back in 2007. And since really lockdowns began, one of the things we've done is we spend about half an hour to an hour every single day speaking to one another. We speak about the firm, we speak about what we're seeing in the industry, but it also gives us a chance to kind of take stock, check about our strategy, see what we've got to adjust, and move forward from there. So I'll introduce you to those gentlemen in just a second. Okay, so here's the senior partner team. We've got top left, Earl Glasgow. We've got top right, Neil Johnson. Bottom left, Mark Henderson. And bottom right, David Harrison. So hello, gents, and let's crack on with the senior partner call. So at 12 o'clock, 3 days a week, we run a recruitment webinar. And I mentioned this shirt before. One of the things we do to look nice and smart is we pop our work attire on. So I know we pop the shirt on. I'll not do all the buttons up for now because I'll get that ready when we're ready to go. And then I'll sit down at my desk and the audience will know, well look, business on the top and then leisure on the bottom with the shorts. What the audience don't see at all. The final meeting I wanted to show you today was one in which I'm having now at about 2 o'clock, just after lunch, which is a V8 catch-up meeting. So V8 or VNext, we haven't actually decided on the actual name for it yet, is going to be our brand new back office system, which will service all of our advisors and all of our head office teams there. So let me show you some of the screens which David Reid's going to drive us through.
Yeah, so this is the advisor dashboard. We've obviously, one of the features we've brought through is the recent client list on the front screen. So if we just click through to a client, we're seeing the client overview here. But I've been working on pulling widgets of key information.
Is lockdown any better in terms of it being less busy for you? And the answer is a resounding no. If anything, I'm busier than ever now. You can probably tell by my voice, it's near the end of the day now, and it's almost gone from the amount of talking that I've done. In addition to that, this hair here is not by choice. It needs cutting drastically, but I haven't quite had the bottle or the nerve to get the clippers on it, so long it will stay. And the final one is the internet. This is the back of my study, and that is a 4G router there as well. So it's either that or a mobile phone hanging out the window. Tends to be the only way in which I can communicate reliably with people via video when I'm working away. So at the end of the day, if we're lucky and it's a day like today where it's dry, it's sunny, we'll get outside and we'll try and get a bit of fresh air before going for our dinner. So tonight we've got the excitement of the newly arrived buggy, which Chester and Hazel are driving around in. So Gemma and I's job is to be the responsible adults and make sure they don't tip it. So lots of fun for those two, and a bit kind of nerve-wracking for us, I guess. Hope that you've enjoyed today's video. It's been quite a varied day. We've had operations, senior partner calls, client experience work, new technology and everything else that goes on in between from working at True Potential. I've also had a call with the compliance team, but I didn't share that with you as they're quite a scary bunch. It is a cliche, but no 2 days at True Potential are the same. It keeps life really interesting. It keeps me on my toes. It keeps the team on their toes as well. But I like to think that's the type of firm we are. We rarely sit still. We want to be agile. We want to innovate. And we've got such a tremendous head office team at True Potential that I think they enjoy that as well. In addition to what you've seen about True Potential, I hope you managed to find out a little bit more about me and about how I'm juggling working from home and how that helps me actually run a special firm like True Potential. Every day is different as well for me and the family, but I'm extremely lucky to live where I live, and I'm extremely lucky to share it with my fantastic family. And really, when I look back on today and I think about lockdown, I start to think actually lockdown isn't too bad after all. So hope you enjoyed it. Have a lovely day and very much look forward to speaking to you soon. Cheers.